Well, hello, my silly little gooses. Welcome back to another edition of the Midweek Breakdown, presented by My Two Cents Podcast, hosted by G2. I am G2. I am here to talk to you guys for a good 10, 15, even sometimes 20 minutes on any and everything that I do want to talk about. Certain episodes will be different, very little topics, and on certain episodes, it'll be a generalized topic that I do want to discuss with you. Today is not one of those days. Today is me talking to you guys about little teeny topics. And then I'll be ending you guys off with your song of the week. But before I do all of that, I got to take care of a little bit of house cleaning here. If you haven't listened to my Sunday episode, go and listen to that. It's called Money Problems, when I talk about a lot of billionaires and millionaires getting themselves roped up into different legal charges. If you are a professional wrestling fan, I do talk about professional wrestling on my Saturday episodes, Wrestling Highlights of the Week. Those are available to you as well. So I want to get that out the way. Also, if you haven't followed the podcast, whether you're on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Podbean, any other podcasting sites that you're listening to this podcasting on, go and do it. Because when you do so, guess what? You get new episodes of this podcast that drops every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, and sometimes Monday, when I talk about certain wrestling pay-per-views or premium live events. So that's that. And also, you help to spread podcasts around. It gets the podcast out there to different algorithms. People in different areas get to listen to it. That's what I'm hoping for. So if you could, subscribe. Leave some reviews. Hit some stars. You know the deal. So with that out of the way now, so far, the middle of the week, I hope everybody's been doing well. I hope everybody's going fine. I do want to make one thing before I get to the topics. Lifting up furniture kind of sucks. I've done it before, I've moved around in certain areas, but lifting furniture sucks. Always lifting upwards sucks. Like if you got to go up some stairs with furniture, it always sucks. I would rather have a rather leveled ground to just move into furniture into a home with. Always move furniture upwards, it sucks. Gravity fighting you, you having to lift up, and especially if you have someone else helping you up with the furniture, it completely sucks because it's always going to believe that you're lifting up more than your other person of the movement. So again, if you have a home or you're helping a buddy, because there's a thing called movers party. I didn't know that was a thing until recently, but God, ask the people who you're helping to move. Ask them, do they have a one bedroom on a flat surface, or do they have like a upstairs, downstairs type business deal? Because if it's upstairs, you probably want to grit your teeth and hope to God that you got a right partner to lift up that furniture with. But if it's a downstairs, I don't think it's that bad. Yes, you got to slowly move your feet down the stairs and all that, but gravity's kind of helping you out by pushing you with the furniture down instead of fighting you as you're going upstairs. But the best is always level surface, just be able to walk in, put it down somewhere. So again, furniture moving, that kind of sucked for me. But that's out the way, that's done. That's the one little tidbit that I did want to bring up to you guys. Again, that was something that I just experienced more recently, having to go upstairs with furniture. But I just wanted to bring that up. Now, moving off of that, sorry for that little tirade there. The first thing I do want to talk about is Alex Jones. Alex Jones this past week, he was on his show InfoWars, and I didn't watch it, but I saw like little clips of it. Apparently he was on there talking about how his show might get shut down by the feds, because if you're not aware of this, Alex Jones, he has been ordered to pay $1.5 billion in money in compensation to the families that he was saying that their children didn't die in the Sandy Hook shooting incident. He's always been pushing for years that it was a conspiracy theory, that the children were paid actors, that whole thing was a farce. But come to find out, as we all know, it was not a farce. The kids are actually no longer here. My man was just being a complete a-hole. The families took him to court. He had to now pay them $1.5 billion as of judgment. So Alex Jones did a little emergency show this weekend. As I said, I didn't see it, saw clips. And on Monday, the U.S. bankruptcy judge that apparently was presiding over this case, has issued a ruling allowing Alex Jones to keep operations up and running for the next 2 weeks while the court decides whether his assets should be liquidated. Because they were trying to, and I'm not saying they as the court, I mean the families were trying to liquidate Alex Jones' assets. They were trying to liquidate his business so they can get the money because, as my understanding, he hasn't paid them like the money that they're supposed to be getting. And I know there probably is a payment plan that you got to do because $1.5 billion, I don't think he got it like that to just throw it out there. Maybe he does. Maybe he got some offshore accounts the way that certain rich people do, but they keep that secretly in the tuck. But 1.5 billion just sitting in an American bank, I don't think he got that. I think he probably got some things wrapped up, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, they're giving him until June 14th to keep his business up and running. I do hope that the families get what they're owed from Alex Jones because, again, you got to think about it. You lost your kids in the Sandy Hook situation. You got a man on here that, for better or worse, he has a legion of people listening to him, and they actually followed his wording, followed what he said about the kids being actors. The families are just lying, and those families had to withstand the onslaught of people just constantly going at them because of this man's words. So I hope the families get what they're owed. I hope the families get the money that they're owed from him. And you know what? This was the easiest slam dunk for Alex Jones, just to say, hey, yo, I was wrong. I was tripping. I was probably on some type of hallucinating drugs or something, just so they can get off your back, just for you to admit that this thing was wrong. You could have easily got that off one time by saying the conspiracy theory business, and then just say, as soon as you feel all the heat coming onto you, you could easily just back it up and say, hey, yo, I was bad. That was wrong with me. I took something. My brain went off to something else. Hey, people that's listening to me, don't harass these people, all that type of stuff. Because when you do that, you take the blame off of yourself, and people will still get online and say, well, he's the guy that started it off. But if you retract what you said before it starts catching air, like a lot of major steam, you're always able to find a way in the public eye to say, okay, he's just a nut guy. You don't listen to him. Instead of constantly staying 10 toes down in this theory that you had, which was wrong, incredibly wrong, and cruel too, by the way. And now you have to pay the piper. You're losing your show. So again, you have until the 14th of June, I believe. It said, hold on one second. Yep, 14th of June, until the court decides what they want to do. If they're going to liquidate your business or what, and you're probably out of a business. So again, we'll have to wait and see with that. Hopefully by June 14th coming around, I'll be able to find out, and I'll bring it back to you on this podcast, whether it be on this Wednesday episode or Sunday episode. You will find something out. Now, moving off of that onto another situation that should be kind of kibosh, but is not. Michael Cohen, who was the lawyer for Donald Trump when he paid porn star Stormy Daniels off, his family has been doxxed after the Trump guilty verdict has come out. It was reported by NBC News. They're stating that the addresses and phone numbers of former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen's family members were posted to a doxing website after Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts in connection with a scheme to illegally influence the 2016 election. That's not the total truth. We all know it wasn't for that. We all know it's for the hush money for Stormy Daniels because he took money out of campaign kind of crap. Cool, fine, whatever, cool. My thing is this. You're getting after Michael Cohen. I understand Trump has a legion of people. Again, the same thing like Alex Jones, which is crazy to me how, listen, you can support one person, but don't go nutty. Don't go, what's my man's Jack Nicholson's movie? One that flew over the cuckoo's nest, something like that. You get the drift. Don't be one of those that will do something that's nutty that people will really question your mental sanity. Because why on God's green are you doxing this man's family and him? Why are you doxing someone? Only thing Michael Cohen did, we're really going to be honest, he was preserving himself like anybody will be preserving themselves when they're in a trial. That's the only thing that he did. He turned on Trump. Okay, cool. How many times have we seen in movies? How many times have we seen in television shows? Hell, how many times have we seen in life where people have done something bad and then when it's time to pay the piper, hey yo, I'm going to flip to save myself. That's the only thing that's what it is. Michael Cohen, he flipped, he turned on Trump, he's told his part, he told what he did in the whole keeping Stormy Daniels quiet business, and he basically just told what Trump did. So I don't understand the whole business of why my people are getting at Michael Cohen. Was he not supposed to snitch? Yes, that's always the thing. Whenever you do something wrong with another person, you're never supposed to snitch. But come on, you know what it is. Snitch is an acronym. Sorry, well, in the black community, it's sorry, nigga, I'm trying to come home. That is exactly what snitch means. In the other communities, I don't know what it understands for you guys. It just means one word. Some people might say ratting, but you get my drift. You're just trying to find a way out for yourself. So for Michael Cohen, I don't technically have a problem with that. I just have a problem with people just doxing him and his family. They're saying that phone numbers and addresses for Cohen's wife and children were posted on a website early Monday morning. Again, I don't like that. Leave the kids, leave the wife out of it. If you want to go at Michael Cohen, like send him tweets, send him stuff on Instagram, just write anonymous notes and all that kind of crap. Go ahead and do that. I wouldn't personally do it, but we've seen too many counts of it happen before, so I understand people doing that type of crap, but doxing a man's wife and children because of him flipping on a presidential candidate or former president, it's stupid. And especially, I'm just going to be honest with you, again, this case was stupid of the whole Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels, hush money business. This whole case was stupid. I personally didn't think it was really that big of a deal, but the government seems to want to try to make sure they can eliminate Donald Trump any way that they can out of the presidential election. Amen. That's your business. You do what you do, but this whole thing is completely stupid. Leave Michael Cohen and his family alone. Don't dox him. Let him be. Let him ride. And just go about your day-to-day business. Donald Trump supporters, do your business with Donald Trump. Continue to support Donald if that's what you guys are going to do. But leave Michael Cohen alone. Leave his family alone. That's the only thing I do ask of you because he just preserved himself like all of you would do if we're really going to keep it a buck. Off of Michael Cohen. On to another heinous situation, which, again, 2024, we're in this time where people are being exposed and people are being called out for a lot of things. In the hip-hop industry, The Dream, he is being accused of rape and sex trafficking, and he's being accused by his former mentee in a lawsuit that was filed Tuesday in a California federal court. Shinez Monroe, I'm hoping I'm saying the name right, has accused The Dream of falsely promising to promote her career only to trap her in an abusive, violent, and manipulative relationship filled with physical assaults, violent sexual encounters, and horrific psychological manipulation. Now, in the complaint, they are saying that The Dream exploited Miss Monroe by falsely assuring her that he would sponsor the extension of her international visa, telling her he would write blockbuster songs for her, and offering her a spot on the opener of Beyonce's upcoming tour. He allegedly oversaw all aspects of her life, insulating her at a hotel, controlling where she went, and having her check in several times a day. The complaint details violent sexual acts throughout the course of the duo's relationship, which started in 2015 when she was flown out to Atlanta by The Dream. On one occasion, he locked Miss Monroe in a dark room adjacent to the recording studio, violently having sex with her and then leaving her alone, naked in the dark for hours on end, returning again, have sex with her, and demand that she tell him she loved him. Okay, I'm not going to go through all this, but you can guess where we're going with this. So we're at another P. Diddy situation, and the only thing I'm going to say with this is right now, hip-hop is not in a good situation. Because P. Diddy, as we all know, he was one of the big guys in hip-hop. Whether you want to admit it or not, you can't deny Puff's impact, not only in hip-hop, but in entertainment, but hip-hop was kind of like his bread and butter. So with hip-hop now being under attack because of Diddy and the video that come out, now any man is going to be accused, especially by someone that they were allegedly either having a relationship with that is a singer of theirs, or someone that they quote unquote was supposed to be underneath their wings, coming out and saying that they did this or did that, something nasty and vile. We are looking at them differently. Now, what I will say is there is no video of the Dream coming out saying, well, doing anything wrong to this woman. So right now he has a shred of innocence to him. But I'm just saying, on the grand scheme of things, when people look at this, I think people are going to say maybe he did do it, maybe he didn't. It will be the 50-50 chance. But since Puff's thing came out, I think that the Dream's probably going to have to come out and say what he did do with this woman, say that it was probably consensual. I knew of this woman of this many years. He has to put out some type of long, lenient, lengthy type of statement, if you will. I mean, he did put out a response. He did say these claims are untrue and defamatory. I oppose all forms of harassment and have always tried to help people realize their career goals. As someone committed to making a positive impact on my fellow artists and the world at large, I am deeply offended and saddened by these accusations. He stated that out. Yeah, that's cool. Step 101. But as I stated, with the whole Puff stuff coming out, with Puff and Cassie being a relationship that we know about, with now the former mentee coming out about the Dream got to put out a statement saying, okay, yes, I knew her for this long. Yes, we were in a relationship, but I did not do these heinous acts to her. You got to step out in front of that before she can start stepping out on a lot of things. You got to do it yourself. So you can say, yes, this is what it was. This is what it is, but I did not do this, this, and that. Now, will he do that? I'm not certain. I'm not a lawyer, but I look at things and I'm able to see where people's heads are going to think, where people are going to be thinking about this. And again, this thing just came out Tuesday. So again, the Dream has a lot of wiggle room to maneuver in this. That's only if he didn't do it, but if he did, I'm glad that the mentee is stepping up and saying something, but we'll have to find out and see. So when more evidence and more stuff comes out, I'll come back on this pod, come back on the show, and talk to you guys about it. Now, the last thing that I do want to discuss, still sticking in the way of court here, I want to talk about the Rust armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. Apparently, she is being called on the list to testify in the Alec Baldwin trial. Because Alec Baldwin, he's up next in July. And as of right now, it's stating, because the blast would obtain court documents, they are stating that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed has been called to testify against Alec Baldwin because the prosecutors saw Hannah Gutierrez-Reed listed on Alec Baldwin's witness list. And the state's witness list by proxy, as the state has the right to call all witnesses named by the defendant's legal team. I bring this up to say this. Alec Baldwin's team should not be calling her up on the stand at all. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was a person that, whether it be Alec Baldwin that hired her or Alec Baldwin's team that hired her, she's the one that took the fall. She's the one that was the armorer. We all know the deal. She was supposed to look after the weapons that ultimately ended up killing Hannah Gutierrez. Helena Hutchins. She was supposed to look after those weapons to make sure everything was good. Ultimately, it wasn't. For Alec Baldwin's team to want to put Hannah Gutierrez-Reed on trial, on there to testify, I think that is not good, because Hannah Gutierrez-Reed might want Alec Baldwin to be in jail right beside her, because he was the one that shot the gun mistakenly, not mistakenly. The court got to figure all that crap out, but she might want him in jail right along with her, even though she's doing 18 months. That's still jail time, still. Alec Baldwin's team shouldn't want her up there. Not at all. If that was my client, if I was a lawyer, I promise you I wouldn't put her up there. I would not. If the state wanted her up there, I would be like, okay, we let the state go up there and let her have her first, and then we will get after her after the court has heard from the prosecutor side. We will come back and be able to retort, because now it's going to be our time to do it. But I'm not going to be the first to throw her up there. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't have it. That would not be in my playbook. I wouldn't want her nowhere near this case if that was my client. Alec Baldwin was my client. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed wouldn't be up there. I understand the defendant might, the defendant's team, Alec Baldwin's team, might want to have Hannah up there for the case to say, okay, what was your job title? Who hired you? This and that. What type of skill level did Alec Baldwin have? Like, all these little things that could kind of give credit to Alec Baldwin for saying that he's an actor. He knows nothing about guns, while you, on the other hand, you know a lot about guns because they hired you for this job. I wouldn't do it because there's things that could be said that could be misconstrued, that can easily screw and jam up your client. And I wouldn't want that for Alec Baldwin. I wouldn't want that for my client at all. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens, because I'm going to be waiting, just like the rest of the world, or at least the rest of the entertainment world, in July when Alec Baldwin has his trial for his part in the Helena Hutchins situation. So I'll be waiting, but Alec Baldwin's team, I'm just going to be blunt, I wouldn't have Hannah Gutierrez-Reed on my list at all. I'll be trying to get her name off, but that's just me. Now, with that being said, this has been your midweek breakdown presented by My 2 Cents Podcast, hosted by G2. He is I and I am him. It's time for me to get you guys out of here with your song of the week. Song of the week for this week is Janelle Monae's I Like That. It just started to pop in my head as I was doing a couple things a couple days ago. And yeah, I just wanted to play it out so everybody can have a good vibe. So again, Janelle Monae's I Like That. This has been your song of the week for Midweek Breakdown. Have a great day. Be blessed, everyone. I'll speak to you guys Saturday or Sunday. You're choosing. Bye-bye now.
Sometimes I'm mystery, sometimes I'm free, depending on my mood, on my attitude. Sometimes I wanna roll or stay at home, walking contradiction, get some factual and fiction. A little crazy, little sexy, little cool, little rough around the edges, but I keep it smooth. I'm always left to center, and it's right where I belong. I'm the random mind, don't you hear in major songs, and I like that. I don't really give a fuck if I was just the only one who likes that. I never like to follow all around the chase the sun. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. I like that. I don't care what I look like, but I feel good. Better than amazing and better than I could. Told the whole world I'm the venom and the antidote. Take a different type of girl to keep the whole world afloat. Cause I'm crazy and I'm sexy and I'm cool. Little rough around the edges, but I keep it smooth. I'm always left to center, and that's right where I belong. I'm the random mind, and don't you hear in major songs, and I like that. I don't really give a fuck if I was just the only one who likes that. I never like to follow all around the chase the sun. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. I like that.
I remember when you called me weird. We was in math class, third row. I was sitting by you, right before Mr. Ammons' class. Cause my mama couldn't afford new J's Polo, thrift store, thrift clothes. That was all I knew. Do you remember? I remember when you laughed when I cut my perm off and you rated me a 6. I was like, damn. But even back then with the tears in my eyes, I always knew I was the shit.